Happy 2019, everyone! This year, you are gonna achieve your New Year's resolutions with these 3 strategies that I'm about to share right now. Hey guys, it's Gina here, and I am the life coach for go-getters. I'm so happy you joined on the first week of January to learn the 3 tips that'll help you achieve your goals. First, I'm going to share with you a very sad statistic. Unfortunately, 80% of Americans fail to achieve their resolutions by the second week of February. Like, what? Not even 6 months in, not even a full 2 months in, by the second week of February, their New Year's resolutions have gone out the door. So I'm going to help you steer super clear from that and be the 20% and not the 80% that fail. So let's dive right in. Number 1, you must chunk down your goals. So typically when we make a New Year's resolutions, it's pretty grand sweeping. It lasts for the whole year. For example, learn a language, pick up a new hobby, or maybe you want to get a raise or get a different job or build a personal brand. Whatever it is that you are working on, we typically, they're called New Year's resolutions because it's for the year. But here's where we run into trouble. A year is a very long time to be able to keep track of your milestones and how far along you are on your goal. So if it's December 31st or January 1st, whenever you do your New Year's resolutions, remember, please, to chunk them down. It will save you. When I started doing this, I was like, what is this magic solution that I never knew about? And of course, it's so simple. Here is how it works. When you have a New Year's resolution goal, chunk it down to 12 months. Amazingly, we have January, February, March. We have 12 of those, which makes it perfect and easy to coordinate. Make sure you think strategically about what goes inside each month. For example, let's say you want to pick up the guitar. Don't say, every month I want to learn a new song. Maybe you do if you already know how to play. But if you're someone brand new, here's a example of how you'd like to chunk down your goal on a monthly basis. If it was me and I've never learned how to play the guitar, maybe in month 1, I would figure out, am I gonna buy a guitar? Am I going to rent a guitar? Do I want to learn electric or acoustic? And then beyond that is the actual way in which you want to learn. Do I want to be self-taught and watch YouTube videos? Do I want to download an app or find an online course? Or do I want to go to a music school or find a studio or find a private teacher or a group teacher? There's so much to figure out, right? So maybe you put all of that stuff in month number 1. Then in month number 2, it can be something like learning all your chords. And then when you feel ready, maybe by month 3 or 4, you learn 1 song a month or 1 song for the whole year. However ambitious, however you like to set up your goals, just as long as you chunk them down. So here's what I do at the 6-month mark. It's July, right before my birthday, perfect timing for me. I sit down and I look at each of my goals and where they are along that 12-month span. Then I can see, some are falling a little bit behind. I'm advancing ahead on others. I've already hit the 7th month mark, even though it's 6 months, so I can learn to adjust and figure out where I am. That way you are totally on track. By the time December 2020 comes along, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so fast, you guys. You'll be well on your way. Whoops. All right, strategy number 2. Do not get caught up in the how. A lot of times we stop in our New Year's resolutions because we don't know how to achieve them. How do I lose 15 pounds? How do I learn another language if I've never learned a language before? How do I build a personal brand? Please, please, please do not get caught up in the how. Here's a nugget of wisdom for you. You are not supposed to know how. If you did your New Year's resolutions correctly, there should be a lot of mystery and uncomfortable zones that you have to step into and not a lot of certainty because you've never done it before. If you have a New Year's resolution that's like, I'm going to wake up and make a sandwich once a week, I'd question whether or not this New Year's resolution is enough of a reach goal for you or if it's even considered a goal or not. Most of the times, because I'm talking to an audience of go-getters, you have ambitious big goals that you've never done before, so it's okay not to know how. So don't get too caught up in the how. Strategy number 3. You guys are gonna love me for this one. Your goals can and should change. I'm going to say that one more time because it's important. Your goals can and should change. What that means is you have to adjust them. You have to pivot them. In fact, if you don't, either you're Superman or you're most likely not going to achieve your goals. So here's how you tackle this one. At the end of each month, see if you're on track. Whoa, awesomely enough, you guys made a list where you chunk down your yearly goals to every 12 months. So it's already done for you. You go to the end of January and you check to see, I told myself in the first month I would lose 3 pounds and I've only lost 2, and I'm still figuring out my exercise routine and my eating habits, and it's taking me a little bit more time than I thought. Well, great, and that's totally fine, and it should be, different than you expected because, hey, you've never done it before. And so maybe you give yourself a little bit more leeway in February. By March, April, you shift all your goals down, and maybe that means by the end of the year, you lose 10 pounds instead of 15. However you like to do it. And guess what? What if you pick up steam by August? And at the end of August, you can sit down and be like, hey, it's September, and I'm gonna move my goal back up to 15 pounds, or I'm gonna add on to it and say, I wanna lose a full 25 pounds by the end of this year. That is awesome. Know that your goals can and should always be changing. Always be changing. I don't know why I felt like that needed to become a song. The most important thing about this is, you guys, confidence is so important for achieving goals. And if every time you visit your goals and you're behind and you don't celebrate and you don't get to pat yourself on the back and be like, hey, I achieved something, or I have the capability to do this, if each time you get knocked down and knocked down and knocked down, and you bring more and more ego into the room, and you bring more and more shame into the room, then you might never achieve your goals. Because typically, this is what I believe. If you're passionate and you love yourself, you can frickin' do anything. Seriously. Know that if you give yourself the leeway to change and adjust, you're working smart. This is what entrepreneurs do. They fail hard and they fail fast. They figure out what the mistakes are, they turn those mistakes into experiences and lessons learned, and then they do better the next time. If you keep avoiding adjusting your goals, or avoiding the fact that it takes you longer to learn things, or avoiding the fact that you're much better at music and way worse at language than you thought, then you're never gonna get there. So be honest with yourself. Adjust your goals as you see fit. I suggest the end of every month, revisit your chunking goals, and then do a bigger review on the 6-month mark by July, and you are well on your way. You guys, I really hope that was helpful. Number 1, chunk down your goals from 1 year to 12 lovely months so you can keep track of them. Number 2, do not get caught up in the how. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be mysterious. There's supposed to be a lot of unexpected moments where you get stuck. That's okay. I high five you, you high five yourself. That's the way it's supposed to be. And number 3, your goals can and should always be changing. That's a terrible song. I'm sorry. Happy New Year's, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be releasing new videos and tips and tricks on self-love, productivity, motivation, self-development, positive psychology, everything you need to live the amazing life that you've always wanted, exactly how you wanted. I am here to get you there. I love you. Have an amazing first week of January and go kick butt. Oh, also write in your comments below, what are your goals for the month of January? I don't want to ask you for the whole year because I want to make sure that you are properly chunking and on your way to setting yourself up for success. All right, write in the comments below. I will respond to each and every single one. Love you guys. Happy New Year. Ciao.